There's always something to sing about, even when you feel like you've been without you. You close your eyes and give yourself a surprise. Just do your thing and sing. Yeah. Hey, what's going on, family? This is Jonathan Hill with Rise and Result Family Services. I came today just to give you guys a quick snippet of one of the things I think that our youth need. First of all, one of the things that we do at Rise and Result Family Services is that we focus on the gifts, passion, and purposes of our youth. We have a specialty in blended family relationships. Most definitely how fathers are looked upon when coming into a relationship of a blended family, and how he can go about making sure he has the right expectation for himself, the youth, the children in the family, and of course his spouse. One of the things that we also offer is, you can go online and find it. It's called The Lost Basics of Parenting. It's my book that I wrote a little while ago. Trust me, it's going to help with some stuff that you may never thought about. So get that and see how that helps you. So I think the benefit for our youth is that we start early with them, right? So let me give you this analogy. You know how when you look at water, say like the Mayans and other cultures of people before us, and even now, how they do water. Like water flows from high to low. So when they're living up on the high hills in the mountains, they have a system that they can deter the water from flowing straight down to making sure it goes into a place where they grow their crops. And so they have systems where they line the stream and have the water divert into their crops, right? The rest of the water that goes through, they make sure they have enough water to go through, and it goes down into, the forest, and it comes into a brook. The brook fills up, and after a while, the brook just overflows and goes down into the creek. The creek flows into the river, and then the river flows into the ocean. So once it hit the ocean, there's no longer fresh water anymore, it's salt water, right? So this is the analogy and the understanding of our youth. If we catch them early and divert some of their behaviors, we'll have a lush, beautiful youth population who wants to do the right thing, because we can get them situated and acclimated to their gifts, passion, and purpose. And you look around at high hills and you'll see just lush, beautiful green that's producing greatness. You know what I'm saying? That people can eat from, and people can go in and pick whatever you want to pick, the variety of different things, and that's what it looked like with the variety of different youth that we help. So, but then some of that water gets through and it goes down to the brook, and when that brook, the water starts spiraling around and pooling, that youth are down there with other youth who's come downhill and had great trial and tribulations because they slipped through the cracks. And now they're sharing ideas and they're sharing situations, and some great ideas, some great situations and great experiences, and some not so good. But when that brook fills up and it flows down into the creeks, and then it flows down into the river, you begin to have bigger relationship between our youth. But then ultimately it goes into the ocean. And when it goes into the ocean, it mixes with salt water. So let's go back. So what that brook represents is the youth that we mix, and that's the detention center. That's our youth detention center. It mixes in with other individuals who got great experiences and not so good experiences. And then they join together and with the ideas of what's going on, the hurts and pains and the greatness and then the beautiful things that happen in their life. But ultimately, they still slipping through the crack because we left it up to a system that is broken. to systematically break our children and our youth even more. Then it flows down into the streams, to the creeks and to the rivers. But ultimately, while they're flowing, they're mixing in. They're getting bigger. They're getting more individualized, and more. How can I say? They're joining together with what they have, and that's all they have. So they're making families, right? So what happens is this. Once they get to a place where they become in that ocean, where the salt water and the sea, the salt water becomes a part of their life, they no longer can revert back to fresh water, because now they're in the ocean of prison systems for adults and things of that sort. So they get mixed in with all kinds of individuals, and there's sharks in the ocean. There's killer whales in the ocean. There's individuals who truly mean them no good in the ocean. And so they get in that detention center, that prison, and it's hard for them to come back. You know why? Because it takes another system to purify them again, take the salt water out, and take all the salt out again and have them be fresh water again. So now they got to go through this entire process of a whole nother system just to desensitize them from the systems that they've been going through ever since they slipped through the cracks. We are that other system that can purify them. How can we purify them? Get them into understanding their gifts, passion, and purpose. How do we do that? Very easily. One of the ways is, if you can talk with the youth and you say to them, hey, what would you do without your video game, without your cell phone, without your computer? They will probably tell you what it is that they do, what it is that they have as a gift. And everybody has a gift, and it's cool because God said, hey, I'll give you a gift and I'll never take it away. And this is why criminals are such great criminals, because they are gifted in what they do. Even when they become sour and mean and bad and wrong and criminal, their gift still isn't taken away. So these children have their gifts all the way up through the entire life. And it's up to us to help these young guys, these young women, to make their gifts something that is great. Here's how we know that gifts will work. Those gifts will work. Because usually when you identify a gift in a gift with our youth, it keeps them from the streets, because they more acclimated to do what's in them than to go and try to fit in. So that being said, if they say, okay, cool, I like working with my hands. I like when you try to identify their gifts. If they say, I like working with my hands, you got to engineer. If you say to somebody, hey, what do you like? Oh, I like music. Well, see what kind of music they like and what's going on with how they identify with their music. And then you'll know you might have an artist, you might have a musician. So you never know. So when they give you those kind of sparks, and when they give you those kind of understandings about what they like, then we can move forward with them. And that's just one way to find out. So that being said, it's a benefit for us all, because in 25 years, we probably won't be doing the same thing we're doing now. We'll have some individuals come along to take our place, to do what we're doing. So unless we give back to those young guys and those young women, there's nothing that we can do to stop what's going to be inevitable, is that we're just going to crash and burn. So if you see a young woman, young man, just say, hey, how you doing? Don't worry about what the media told us, that our children are crazy, our children are bad, or any of that. They're not. They just want to have fun, just like we did when we were youth. And now we're of a mindset that we're not doing those kind of things anymore. What they doing seems wrong, it seems weird. It might be, but we did the same thing. So give them understanding. Talk to our youth, give them something that's going to be a benefit for their life by giving them some time, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? So that being said, I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you next time. God bless you all, and keep him first. Don't forget that. Goodbye.